Hello and welcome to the recorded training for the Introduction to OVW Semi-Annual Performance Reporting. We here at VAWA MEI are your partners in performance reporting. We support OVW and OVW grantees with data reporting. We are a grantee ourselves. We are not OVW, we are not grant monitors, we are not JustGrants. Our job is to help you as grantees have the skills, tools, knowledge, and resources you need in order to complete your performance report, demonstrating the impact, effectiveness, and value of VAWA-funded programs. This means that part of our work is helping to collect, align, and analyze data from thousands of grantees nationwide. We also support grantees with completing semi-annual performance reports through presentations and webinars like this one, through trainings, through direct technical assistance over the phone or by email. We're a technical assistance provider, so we are here to support you in reporting your grant-funded activities as accurately as possible, and we're not here to monitor your work. This is the brief agenda for this training. We will cover the data reporting cycle, how to access, fill out, complete, and download your PDF performance report. We'll go over some common impact tool issues. I'll show you how to handle getting a change request to make changes to your report that's already been finalized. And I'll give you some general tips for accurate data reporting, and lastly, some contact information depending on what kind of question you have. Alrighty, so let's begin with the overview of the overall reporting cycle. You receive your OVW grant, and it is your responsibility as a federal grantee to submit your data on your federally funded program. So every 6 months, grantees must create this semi-annual performance report using the web-based tool named Impact. Once you've completed your form in the Impact tool, you have to download the PDF version of the report in order to submit it into JustGrants in your JustGrants account. Then your OVW program specialist will review the report you've submitted. They look at every report that's submitted by all grantees, and sometimes they might contact grantees during this review if they have a question about something that was reported or if they're asking a grantee to make a change to the report. So that would be called a change request. Once OVW program managers have approved all of the reports, they send the data on to VAWA MEI to let us know it's time for our data processing. We review the data, looking for things that are inconsistent, potential errors or mistakes. We may contact grantees if we have a question about what was reported. Our interest is in ensuring that your amazing work with your grant is reported as accurately and thoroughly as possible. If there are any changes needed to the data at that point in the process, we make them from our end. You wouldn't need to do a change request again. Once we've processed all of the data, we create reports with that finalized data for OVW. It might land in the report to Congress. We create summary reports for OVW, and occasionally the data gets used for ad hoc requests and interest from OVW and policymakers. Alrighty, so the general logistics are that you will be using the VAWA Impact tool, which was launched in 2025 for the July through December 2024 reporting period. That was back in March of 2025 it launched. And we'll be using that moving forward. So there are no longer fillable PDFs. Grantees should receive invitations from OVW inviting them to begin filling out their January to June 2025 reports starting on July 1st. That means going through the email link for a blank reporting form. If your agency doesn't receive that email from OVW, or you're not sure if the contact information OVW has is current, you can access the blank reporting form links to the impact tool by going to the VAWA MEI website, vawamei.org, going to the program page and looking for the form link from there. The January to June 2025 reporting period form must be submitted into your JustGrants account by July 30th, 2025. If for any reason that due date doesn't feel doable to you, you must reach out to your OVW program manager and be in touch with them about the due date. It's very important to submit your performance report into your JustGrants account by this date. We recommend not waiting until the last minute. The support staff at JustGrants is quite small. You might have a long wait if you wait till the last day and have a problem and need support. So, as we mentioned, we're going to go over how this process works using the impact tool. First, you must obtain the URL to start a reporting form. Once you get started, you'll generate a unique link for yourself for your form. It's shareable. And once you've completed the form on the impact tool, you must download the PDF. And you can see on this screen, that's only step 2. You're not done. You must go to your JustGrants account to submit the PDF. As I mentioned, you hopefully receive an email from your OVW program manager or from the OVW pair unit with the link to a blank reporting form for the type of grant you need to submit a report for. Some agencies will need to fill out multiple reports depending on how many grant awards you have. So you might be an agency who has multiple types of grant awards, and you would have received an email for each of those different types of rewards. And if you didn't receive the email, you can access a link from our vawamei.org website by looking for the program grant page. Once you begin the report in the system, you'll enter in your general contact information and hit the Save button, which will bring you to a page that says, "This is your unique URL." It'll email the link to you, and that will be the unique URL to return to anytime you need to work on the performance report. You can share the performance report link with anyone at your agency who needs to work on it. We recommend not working on the same page as somebody else at the same time so that you don't overwrite. Whoever hits save on a page last that's the data that will save. And then you want to save this link as well in case you need to return to it, even after you've submitted the performance report in the event that you get a change request from your program manager at OVW. Please note though, if you share this link with somebody outside your agency, like an agency partner, the form is not going to aggregate or sum different entries from different people. You'll have to overwrite each other's work and do that addition on your own. So please collect your data in a way that makes it easy to aggregate, and you can always share the example performance report and instructions with partner agencies so that they know how to provide data for the form so that it can all be aggregated as smoothly as possible. So in step 2, essentially you are filling out the performance report within the impact tool. You will fill out any sections that are mandatory, such as the general information section and the narrative section. You can save your progress and return at any time and navigate between sections using a navigation pane. The system does include built-in validations, so while you're working on the form, if you complete a page or a section successfully, there will be a green checkbox, and if there's a validation issue, the navigation bar on the left will just show a yellow exclamation point, and you'll get some red pop-up text. I'll show you an example of this in a moment. And then, assuming you get through all the validations, at the very end, you have to go through a process to final review your performance report, which will generate a PDF of their form that you can download. Once you've downloaded your PDF to your computer, you must log into your JustGrants account to submit the performance report. And again, the due date here for the January through June 2025 reporting period is July 30th, 2025. The form must be submitted into JustGrants by that time, midnight Eastern time. And I know there are grantees all around the country, many different time zones. So please try to get your form submitted before the last day, just in case you have any issues with the JustGrants system. You want to leave yourself time to ask for support from the JustGrants staff. Alrighty, I'm going to give us a quick run-through example of the impact tool now. So when you open a blank form link, either from the VAWA website or from the email you get from OVW inviting you to start your performance report, when you open the link, there's a brief introduction instructional page. You'll see at the bottom here, there's this Start New Report button. And there is a Find My Report spot down here. In the event that you lose your unique URL and you want to find your form again, you would put in your point of contact email address to find it again through this page. So we click Start New Report, and it's going to bring us to the general information section for the performance report. We would fill all of this out. I want to highlight here that for the grant number, you must enter this the exact way it appears in your JustGrants account, including any dashes. You want the format to be exactly as it appears in JustGrants. You would indicate if it's a final or closeout report or a regular report. You'd put in your point of contact information, and this is the person who knows the most about the day-to-day activities of the grant that could answer any questions your OVW program manager might have, especially if there are questions that need to be addressed through a change on the performance report. This is the email address that the Find My Report button would pull up so that it could find your report if you lose the link. You'd hit Save and Continue, and once you do that, well, I'll do it here. Once you do that, it brings you to this page that shows you you've made your unique URL. It tells you it here that you can click Copy, and then you can launch yourself into the form. It'll also send your point of contact email, an email containing the unique URL so that you can access it there. So there's lots of redundancies to help make sure you don't lose your form. And you won't lose your form. All right, so you can see right away, there's the left-hand navigation pane. Each section of the form is here. It shows different pages. Right now, I haven't completed the form, so it shows this yellow exclamation point to show that I'm not done. If I were to finish this whole section, I'm just clicking through and making some stuff up. Oh, I'm going to show you a live validation. These red text will appear if you have an error. Essentially, if you try to skip something you can't skip, or if a total doesn't match up in a section that requires totals to match up. There are lots of built-in validations, and when you trigger one, the navigation pane will give you a yellow exclamation point visual that something needs to be fixed before you can continue. And you cannot complete your form to generate a PDF until you have green check marks indicating no validations throughout the entire form. And I'll remind us here that this is just an example form. Each form for each grant program has different requirements, different grant-funded activities, different sections on the form. So this might not match exactly what you're going to see when you fill out your performance report. All right, so let's pretend we've completed our entire report. We have no validation issues left. We would go to the very last page and it says validate, review, and complete. The first thing we need to do is this final review button where we'll click final review and it's going to throw us back to the first page on this report, and we need to carefully click through each page in order to generate a PDF of the performance report. This has to happen. There's no other way to make your PDF. So I'm going to show you how it works. It's going to give us a pop-up with the instructions again, just in case you didn't want to read them. And then you need to click through the entirety of each page you filled out. This tells the system how to make your PDF. If you're doing this final review and you realize you made a mistake that you need to address before you make the PDF, you can click this red cancel review button on the bottom right. It's going to appear on every screen for you. So I'm going to click through this whole form to show you what it looks like at the end. Because again, there's no other way to complete your report or create a PDF. You have to do this. Each time you need to update the PDF, you must go through this process. Bear with me just a moment. I'm almost there. All right. Now the button has changed to say complete. That's this last step. I need to click the complete button, and that is how the system knows the PDF is good to go, and I want that PDF. I need to click this complete button. It's going to throw me to this page, which says I have successfully generated the PDF. I can download it from this page. If I need to change something in the performance report, I can still go back. I can click View and Make Edits. To reopen this page, it'll show me the unique URL again, and I can click Confirm Editing. And now I'm back in the form. I can do edits. I can change anything I need to change, but I can't make a new PDF until I click the final review button and go through all of these steps all over again. Alrighty, so back to our PowerPoint slides. There are some common issues in the impact tool that we're aware of that I want to tell you about. You may encounter a situation where the impact site will not load for you, and this is almost 100% of the time a browser cache or cookies issue. We recommend clearing those, and if you need instructions for how to do that, we have a whole page on our website that tells you how to address that issue on different browsers that you might be using. In the past, there have been some issues where narrative responses don't save. There are character limits on each narrative field throughout each form, and we have built-in validations that will give you red text if you exceed the character limits. We strongly suggest you type out any narrative responses you have in a Word document first, save it, and then copy and paste into the form and edit down as necessary, just in case you click save and continue and the narrative isn't there like you expect it to be. Another issue that sometimes happens is that the PDF you create may save the pages in a strange order or overlapping images. We can't replicate this issue at VAWA MEI, so we haven't been able to solve the problem because we can't actually cause the problem on our end to troubleshoot it. We've been trying. We don't know what's happening It's very random, it seems, and it might affect any program. We really encourage all of you to please just review your PDF before you submit it into JustGrants to make sure that the page order makes sense and that you can actually see all of the pages you need to see. Because if you can't, your OVW program manager also can't. When they access the form you've submitted into JustGrants, they might ask you to make a new PDF anyways if they can't see every page. So save yourself the time, save your program specialist the time, your program manager, and scroll through your PDF before you submit it into JustGrants to make sure it's all set. If it's not all set, you need to do the final review again to generate a fresh PDF. If you continue to have issues, please reach out to MEI. We will help you. Like I said, we haven't been able to generate this issue at all, so we will for sure be able to generate a cleaned up PDF for you if it's not working from your computer for some reason. I mentioned the words change requests. It's a type of formal communication from your program manager at OVW. It might ask you to revise or update something in the performance report. It might be that they think there is missing data or incomplete sections. It might be that they are seeing something like unallowable activities reported, and also that final bullet of formatting issues in the uploaded PDF. So again, when you're in the impact system, you would click the View and Make Edits button on the last page I showed you to re-enter your form, make any changes you need to make, and then regenerate the PDF to submit back into JustGrants. If you're trying to prepare for reporting and you're helping prepare your staff or partner agencies, we strongly encourage you to download and share the sample reporting form and the accompanying instructions, which are available for every program from our website, vawamei.org. We also have so many resources on our website, like pre-recorded trainings, FAQs, how-to guides. We know folks have different learning styles, so if you prefer a video training, there's a video training for most things on our website. And there's also written instructions or transcripts for folks who would rather be able to control find something that's written. If you can't find an answer to your question or you're really hoping to speak to a human, we at VAWA MEI love discussing anything reporting, period, performance reporting related with grantees. We do it all year round. As I mentioned at the start of this, we help grantees over the phone or over email. Occasionally, we troubleshoot things over Zoom if screen sharing is easier. So just reach out to us for help anytime. Some tips for successful data reporting are that you really only need, or you only should and can report on OVW grant-funded activities and staff. No more or no less. So do not report on agency-wide totals of anything. You're using the narrative as much as you can, hopefully, to provide more detail on the amazing work your staff are doing, the nuances within your community, within the services you provide. The more you can write down with words, the better of a story your performance report will be able to convey so that your program manager at OVW can effectively monitor the goings-on of your grant. You might not have data that's in a question on the form, and that's okay. OVW knows that you're doing your best to capture all of your grant-funded work, and you can also use the narrative to detail any difficulties with collecting or reporting on certain numerical values in the form. All right. I mentioned as well that there are some fields that are mandatory on each performance report, such as the general information and some of the narratives. And if your agency didn't spend down any grant funds, you might be wondering why you would fill out a form. The answer to that is that you still must submit something into JustGrants, even if you didn't use grant funds during the reporting period. So you would fill out just the mandatory sections and click no on all of the optional sections instead. And then in general, you're clicking no on any section that asks if you used funds for something that you did not use funds for. So if you get to the question that asks if grant funds were used to pay for staff time, you have to select yes or no, because it might be that you're waiting for budget approval and grant funds were not used for staff time during the reporting period. You would skip that section. So again, you're always only reporting on how grant funds were actually spent during the 6-month reporting period. We might be overdoing it on this slide. However, we just really want to convey that your data is so important. Your data helps convey the national scope of violence in your community, successful trends, promising practices, areas of remaining need. Everything in your performance report is reviewed by your OVW program manager and helps inform them. It helps inform the report to Congress that comes out every 2 years. It helps inform policy and decision making, and it helps to defend VAWA funding. So these reports might feel very cumbersome, but we strongly, strongly suggest that you look at the report to Congress and see if, you might find a quote from your report in there someday. There are grantee quotes throughout those reports because everything that you report, it matters. It matters a lot. Grantee reports are used to answer questions that OVW and policymakers have. On the screen here is a few examples of different questions that have come up over the years, more recently, to investigate the data that's submitted by grantees of various programs. So, as you can see, they might be questions related to the type of staff FTEs and activities related. It might be that somebody wants to know how a specific grant program is being able to provide a type of service. It might be a question about the volume of services being provided. So your data is used to help OVW better understand what's going on and uses that information to help craft and defend policy. I've mentioned our website a few times, and here's a quick screenshot to show you that we have VAWAMEI.org. Our main page, you'll be able to see right at the top, has a navigation bar where you can find your grant program, you can sign up for webinars, you can see reports that grantee data are used for. You can use tools or access tools and resources like FAQs or how-to guides or a staff calculator. Um, you can contact us through our website as well. If you lose our contact information, there's a form you fill out on our website to reach out to us through there, and it'll send us an email and let us know how to reach out to you. All right, and lastly, I'm going to go over some contact information because your question might be better suited for someone other than MEI. If you have questions about technical support with your JustGrants account, we cannot help with that, but you can reach out to JustGrants directly. So the phone and email are on the screen here for JustGrants. We recommend making sure your agency can log into your JustGrants account before the due date of July 30th. You don't want to wait till the very last minute and have to be at the very end of the queue. Their team is small but mighty. If you need to verify the type of activities your grant funds are allowed to be used for, if you need product approval, if you're struggling with the due date of a performance report, any questions about the use of grant funds need to be directed to your grant manager at OVW. The main contact for OVW is on the screen here, but you might actually even have a direct line of contact to your OVW program manager, like an email address. And then lastly, this is our main contact information. You can see our phone number, our email address, and our website are all listed for VAWA Measuring Effectiveness Initiative, or VAWA MEI. You can reach out to us for any technical or logistical support with using the impact tool, questions you have about the content of the reporting form. We're always happy to support grantees in whichever way is best for you. We recommend telling us what time zone you're in if you're asking for a phone call, because we all are located on the East Coast in Eastern Time, and we want to make sure that we actually call you at the time that's correct for you as well if you're not in Eastern Time. All right. That'll do it for today. Please reach out to us anytime if you have questions. Thank you for your time and attention. Bye.